When is altcoin season? When on earth is altcoin season? I just want to buy that dream house. I want to buy the Lambo. I'm going to show you key areas to buy and sell. Let's begin. No one should be surprised on my channel. Bitcoin is running out of steam. It's been in a massive bull run for the past 4 years. Huge bull run. It's gone sideways for 6 months, and then we have a meteoric rise. Sideways for 6 months, then a meteoric rise. Sideways, meteoric rise. However, altcoins have had the opposite. They go sideways and then downwards. In a sea of red, altcoins have underperformed massively. No surprise there. In the top 200, only 3% actually outperformed Bitcoin. In the top 400, only a handful of coins outperformed Bitcoin. And yet again, in the top 800, 1000, all of them have underperformed. Some of them are down 92%, 63%, 63%, 81%, and it keeps on going further and further down. So when will we see this altcoin season? Because we're running out of time. Everyone has been staring at this chart. This is Bitcoin dominance, and everyone's been staring at this chart. It just seems to go up higher and higher. Next resistance is at 72. If that doesn't hold, ladies and gentlemen, then we're going to go up even more higher. I really don't think that's going to happen because markets have a vicious way of making you think that prices will continue to go up higher and higher, which they don't. Right now, Bitcoin is stalling out, losing steam, and then people are going to look around and they're going to start searching for the next play. But I do believe we're going to find ourselves in an altcoin season. Majority of folks have decided to sell their spot positions in altcoins and they're moving into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stablecoins. They're telling you to hodl, but they're lying. They are lying. All of these communities are telling you to hold because they want you to be the greater fool. They want you to continue to hold and hold. They are lying. This chart shows you clearly everyone is selling into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stablecoins. Max pain is probably going to be at 72. If 72 doesn't hold, we're heading to 76. If 76 doesn't hold, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading to 85. There is a glimmer of hope, and that is the Ethereum and Bitcoin pair. We have bottomed, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to make all-time new highs. We could go halfway, or we could go all the way to the regional highs. Let's have a look at Ethereum and let's do some TA. First, we're going to start off with the order book flow. And as of now, this is the third largest, right over here, third largest amount of bids. We haven't seen this much buying pressure since the very lows during this period and the very lows during this period. So as you can see here, this marked the absolute bottom, like the very bottom. Not only that, if you look at the RSI for the weekly, this will clearly show you that this is the very bottom. Now, the RSIs haven't been this low since when? Since the bear market in 2022 and since the bear market in December 2018. Here is a better illustration right over here. The very bottom for the RSI. Again, the very bottom for RSI on the weekly. And then again, this is the very bottom. Ethereum could go down, but in my expert opinion, we're never ever going to see them prices ever again. On my right is Amazon. On my left is Ethereum. Now, Ethereum had a meteoric rise during the COVID and pandemic era. Amazon had a massive meteoric rise during the dot-com era. Believe it or not, during those days, it was far more ridiculous than what we have in crypto. Ethereum went down 81%. And ever since, it's had a abysmal bull run. It's just been moving sideways. Amazon has the same setup. Amazon was struggling for quite some time to break above the range highs. And then finally, it broke out. Ethereum is struggling to break the range highs. Even the monthly shows you we're at the absolute bottom, the very bottom. Like, I can't make that up. We haven't seen these RSI levels since the bear market. This is the ISM, and it's an indicator of how the economy is actually doing. Okay, if businesses believe that the economy is doing better and better, what do? They order more inventory, more stock. We've been in the longest decline for around 882 days. We've never ever seen a decline of this period ever. We normally stay here for a little while and then we continue to go up. It means that the real world in companies are fearful. They're scared of the economy mainly because of COVID. COVID really scared them and it changed their entire outlook. Businesses and employers are more fearful. That's why they're not adding more inventory. They're not selling more items. They're being very, very reserved. And this has massive implications in the altcoin market. This is others' dominance. And if you overlay this chart with ISM, you'll be able to see that whenever we had an ISM reading of around 60, that means the market was very frothy. People were more optimistic in the economy. And therefore, we saw a huge boom in crypto. And again, we had ISM readings of 64 and altcoin dominance peaked at 73. Now altcoins are making new lower lows. It's the 7th monthly red candle for altcoins to go lower. We need the ISM to head to 50 and above for altcoins to see sustainable prices, sustainable higher prices. Altcoin dominance has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monthly red candles. On our channel, we've profited on this. I have been relatively bearish in the outlook of the market because of the systemic sell pressure that is going on. Altcoin dominance on the monthly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monthly candles. From the year of 2025, majority of altcoins have been making new lower lows. We think it's going to continue to make new lower lows. The trend is your friend. This is total 3 plus stable coins divided by Bitcoin. We're heading lower to this area of 27. Altcoins are cheap at this area. If enough people see these trend lines, it's going to be a fulfilling prophecy. This is going to mark the bottom and this mark the top. There's a 95% chance in the next FOMC meeting in 23 days that Powell is not going to cut. He's not going to do quantitative tightening either. In September, there is a 64% chance that Powell in September is going to cut interest rates. Once Powell cuts interest rates, that could mean a local top for Bitcoin. If you look very closely in this chart, in 2019, there was a cut, another cut, and then a final cut, and that marked the very, very bottom. Then we found ourselves in altcoin season. If we see further interest rate cuts, we're going to find ourselves at the bottom, but not the absolute bottom. We may need more interest rate cuts for altcoins to see some respite. We need quantitative tightening to stop, QE to begin, and also get adequate interest rate cuts to finally see altcoin season. Rule number 1 in investing, don't fight the Fed. Do not ever fight the Fed. While everyone is panicking, we've been capitalizing from these markets. Based AI went down 91%, Alpha went down 81%, and many altcoins went down a massive 60, 70, 80%. Instead of betting on the next 100x, 1000x, you can also make money on the way down. While you're waiting for altcoin season, of course. There are coins like Celestia that have gone down a whopping 93%. The insiders, the early insiders before this chart even existed, made a whopping 1080%. The second seed round investors, a whopping 116x. Then it came onto the market and most folks bought and hodled and continue to hodl. Altcoin season usually happens 400 days after the halving. 400 days after the halving, 400 days after the halving. We haven't seen altcoin season. There are 11.2 million coins. 50,000 coins are minted every minute. And you can do the obvious thing and not find the needle in the haystack, but instead short the market. Like it or not, you're not going to find this kind of information anywhere. And it gets me a lot of dislikes. We will see altcoin season in my opinion, but there's going to be some more blood in the streets. See you in the next one. Peace.